if I could turn this around. I don't. When you're just using the regular camera app, you can't like reverse it. You can if you're using like on my Instagram or Snapchat and stuff. But I want to talk about my backyard. But man, I was gonna go out there and make a video, but it just started raining. Let me see if I can zoom in. See, look. You see the water there? It's raining out there. It was raining really hard earlier. But before I taught my dad how to use the internet, he was out here and he started a whole entire. It was originally just a small garden, but he just had so much free time. He made a whole plantation. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 big plots, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 small ones that I can see. I got shit out there with like a lawnmower and stuff in there. And he had all these containers that he bought to collect rainwater for like to water his grass and his garden and stuff. And then these are the compost. These two. This one could hold more, but you had to like turn it around and like mix it up, so it was a hassle. So he got this thing so he could like rotate it to make compost for his garden. Because I remember back then I bought a whole bunch of dirt and soil for his garden, and it started to cost a lot, so he started making his own compost. And all these like wooden stuff we bought. We were originally gonna make our own fence, but our HOA stopped us because they wanted like a professionally drawn out blueprint and stuff. Basically, they didn't want us to make one because they wanted to look as nice as this one. And then eventually our neighbor got their own, then, which is the same as the other one down there. And they had to ask both our neighbors, or they had to ask both their neighbors, us and their other neighbors, to allow them to build a fence. I don't know. There's some of the things you know like and don't like about HOA. We had a lot of issues with the HOA back then because my dad wanted to dig up the moat or the dirt pile over there. So when we were younger, we dug this huge chunk out, and then the HOA got mad at us and we had to refill it up. But then we moved the dirt to like a different spot and whatever for a different project, whatever. And so we didn't have no dirt to refill it, so we just bought like we bought like 1,000 some bricks, like thousands of bricks, and made this whole wall of bricks like that we bought from Home Depot. All these bricks were bought, and we made like another extra little like garden back there. My grandfather planted this pine tree like 20 years ago, and this is how big the pine tree is. Let me see. Yeah, this tree, 20 years is how big it grew in 20 years. It's big. But it's windy out there also. It was like, I think we got warnings saying, it might go up to 55 miles per hour and then cause like this thing to fall down, that thing to fall down. I don't know. There's some trees falling out there. And it might actually snow Wednesday, I think. I think the weather channel says it's going to be like 1 to 3 inches of snow. But I was weird. My coworker was saying some places might get like 7 inches of snow. It's weird. It doesn't usually snow here, so people here are like bad at driving in the snow and ice. It might be some sleet, but that was weird. It's like 60 degrees or so out. But then next week it's going to be like 17, 20, 30 degrees. It's going to be below freezing. What else? So these things, the lids, they break really fast over a few years. And so my dad wanted me to buy a bunch of them, but it was not worth it. So we eventually I convinced him to like put some plastic on top of it and just wrap it up or tie it up with rope instead of like buying these new lids every like few years. And then I went out and helped my dad bought these like huge, the taller container back there. They're like food containers for like feed for like cows and stuff. I don't know. We went to like some really old gas station shop and bought like a bunch of them. I think we spent like $100 or $200 and buy like 10 of these things. They're like, I think 55-gallon drums, and I think these are like 45 or so gallon drums. I can't remember. We also have like these smaller things, but he used to grow like red hot chili peppers. I remember I was helping him like add water to it or pick them, and then I was trying to get them in the middle, but then I fell into the middle of it, and he didn't get mad because it made it easier to pick the red chili peppers from the middle of the garden. And then we used to plant like the winter melons all around here, and we used to plant basil and sell it to the restaurant. I forget what else he he planted. Yeah, I don't remember it anymore, but he doesn't really do anything back there anymore because after I taught him how to make the I taught him how to use the internet, and then we were trimming the tree in the front of the house, and I was helping him, but he took a chainsaw and we were chipping it and putting it in here. So there's like a lot of wood chips that he could sometimes use for compost and stuff. But then the bigger pieces he just left back there, so it's like all like logs back there. I was thinking about taking it to the other house, which there's no HOA, and you could just burn it as like firewood. Yeah. And then we redid the back deck last year, and it probably needs to be replaced, but we just repainted it, so it'll probably last like a few more years. And he sanded the whole thing. I didn't want him to sand the whole thing. I just wanted to repaint, like scrape a little bit and repaint it. So, but he wanted to resand it, and then it was eating up so much paint. We had to, instead of using like 1 or 2 buckets of paint, we had to use like 4 buckets of paint. That's why you don't like sand old stuff, because they just usually paint over it. And then I think they have some like to the side of the house. We have like mint. They started growing mint, and sometimes they'll use it for stuff. But yeah, and this is like we used to have like an Asian market store, and this is like part of the like kitchen table sink thing. And this is part of the wood, so it was already rotting, and we replaced 1.5 planks. And then we were gonna, I don't know what he bought some wood, I think that was like the wrong size, and then I don't know, he painted it, and then because some of these are like old, they're like 20 years old, and they're rotting, and he was gonna replace them or something, I don't know. But I think that's it.